Hey.
Yes, let us ride.
I disconnected.
I did as well.
So did I.
Well,
Well then.
Manikai.exe, are you responding?
nope.
No, you're not.
Ah, shit.
Nope.
Campaign cancelled.
No.
So 40k, everyone.
Yeah.
Decim actually comes out. Wait a minute. Wait. I need
Wait.
I'm back.
I've just checked these papers, and you two are not the Dornishmen.
to...
Also, I changed my character sheet a bit again. I can't read or write anymore because
Wow.
I don't
Even
think
I.
it would. I can't really see a reason why he would ever learn to read or write.
I had the same situation.
Boy, I am so fucking glad. Wouldn't it be great if, like, Alaric couldn't read either, and so he was dependent on Bree to like, read him stuff that we find in the Red Mountains?
Well, Bree doesn't need to worry about that.
That's right. It's
Alaric
so
can
good
read.
that Alaric can, like, read now.
The point is we currently have 2 of 5 who can't read. So
But it's like Alaric's like looking at it, and he looks over like the Dornisman, like, should I trust them? Looks over at Bree, should I trust Bree?
She has that wide smile on her face. I don't know what that means.
Bree or the Dornish?
Something inside of me screams danger when she smiles.
Yes, it's not like this wide-toothy grin, but typically there is just a faint smile on her lips whenever, like, Alaric looks at her and she looks at him, which has not been present before these past few months.
Oh, Kyvan is just happy that that the two seem to be such good friends. That's gonna help a lot.
Oh, good, Sheep will be taking over.
Sheep's gonna be introducing dragons.
Yeah. Oh God, no! The white and black
Alright.
dragon. Shit.
Jesus.
Dragons are
Oh,
back.
we're fucked.
Oh yeah, sure, we have a white and black dragon situation we need to resolve. Sheep, get on it.
Roar, said the black dragon.
Can't fight that shit.
All of
Of course
the
you can.
prophetic...
I mean, we have a bow, we'll be fine. We can shoot the dragon.
We have
I
a
do
bow,
have-
yes.
We have a bow. Alaric will fight a
Yeah.
dragon. He don't give a shit.
I specify singular because we still only have one. We now have one person with marksmanship.
You know,
Only
if I get a
once.
dragon bow, like a dragon bone bow, that'd be kind of cool.
You know.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, Halldamir, you can have a helmet made of dragon bone.
Fuck yeah.
Yours.
Set sail for old Valyria.
Do, quickly!
We are not fighting the damned stone men. No.
What?
But
They
hey,
can't
no,
touch you
Gogo,
in full armor. They couldn't even touch you. Come on, let's be
Gogo,
easy.
you somehow find a Valerian steel poleaxe.
Yes.
That's a
Ah,
weird weapon for Valeria to have.
I mean, a weirder one would be a Valerian steel
A
Bavosi blade.
pole axe made mostly of wood, made out of Valerian steel.
You know the
Valerian-
blade itself.
Yeah.
The blade itself.
No, it's fully Valyrian steel. Like,
Okay.
Yeah, it's all full Valyrian steel. Yeah.
Huh. Well,
Well, apparently
that's
there's.
not a waste at all.
some weaponsmith was certainly very inspired.
Can make like 4 swords out of that thing.
Took all of it, just made it a huge. So look at this thing, it's great!
It's
Like,
like ice,
Yeah.
like the size of the Stark's greatsword.
Which is a pretty good sword.
It's a pretty good sword. Alaric would fucking love that sword.
Would like to look
Excuse
at
me, it's a Bathethord, not a Great Thord. Get your lord right. I thought you knew. I thought you were gonna play the game. We're gonna watch if the lord and
I backhand you yet?
Fucking virtual backhand.
Excuse me. Oh, yes.
You unleashed the fucking fury.
No.
No.
I was hoping that we unleashed the Manikai again.
No, that would be preferable.
You know, a bottle of Manikai would be nice to have.
I saw him online for like a second, but
Turns out we can only have Manikai or Gogr. Can't have both.
Oh,
Well,
I guess I'll leave then. Fuck.
well, We're sorry, Gogo. We didn't want to do this. But...
Goger can be with us, but he has to do play by post. It's like he sends like 10 pages of things he wants to do for each session, and then just Manica just reads it like a communique from like one of those like deep jungle guerrilla leaders.
Dear family, it's been exciting searching through this forest. I'm not entirely sure how I got here. I'm supposed to be going to a desert, but nonetheless, it's been an interesting time for sure. I hope you get this letter, Baron Klaus.
This book.
P.S. I can't read and write. I have no idea how I made this.
Oh.
Apparently, ice is a great sword. It was Longclaw that is a bastard sword.
Excuse me.
Yep.
Excuse
Apparently.
Me, actually. Excuse me.
Actually.
I was just testing you. Actually, I totally knew that. So yeah.
I mean, who
Food
doesn't
ya.
know that?
Taller than an adolescent Rob Stark. That's fucking
What?
big blade, apparently.
That's an interesting metric.
Yeah, it is a very weird metric. I just
Like,
looked
I
at the wiki.
I
It's
measure my
big.
blade size. I measure my blade size in Rob Stark's.
It's larger than a big fish, and you're like, okay, well,
How big
The
is
fish was this big. I mean, there was enough Valyrian steel there to make 2 swords, wasn't there? So
yeah.
And they weren't short. They were small things. They were.
no, they were
medium
long
swords.
swords.
Hello?
Greetings, Manica.
Oh, we have a DM again.
My PC just died.
Exploded.
Froze and just said a weird buzzing sound, so not really
Well-
much to do from there.
Not the bees.
So, Jonas, all of your pictures that you added again are gone.
Gone. Nope.
You see, you're probably the reason why Manica's computer
Yeah.
crashed.
That's what it is.
I
It's you,
added 2
goddammit.
pictures. How does that make a computer melt?
You can only do one.
Well, you see how computers are made in binary. So what's actually?
You see,
Take the
his
pictures.
computer is 1.67 Rob Starks tall.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
And it's about the width of 3 hands.
One Lord Baratheon.
Yeah,
Oh,
one Lord.
that's a lot of width.
Woof. That is a lot of width. Oh.
Like a door sized.
Let's try this again. See if I have to. There we go. Let
And
me
it's
try
cre-
to connect now.
Of the creepiness of one Lord Trant.
Looks like you can connect. That's good. I don't have to do the IP thing again.
Now, how much is that in farthings?
Um,
How much is what in
7
farthings?
silver stacks, I think.
I reckon someone's made a conversion for that, though. Let's be honest.
So there we were, setting out
Yes.
from Winter's Respite.
Somehow separated.
Setting out indeed on cart, and I guess it's just easy to move 2 of you down there now. on cart and horses with stuff dressed inappropriately for this. Everything. It's great. Yeah, and all of you, of course, remember where you were setting out for, right?
Yes, Helmbreaker Hall.
Yes.
Right?
Indeed.
Totally knew that.
Hall where Lord Karen keeps his knights, his landed knight, in fact, who has his knights. A good 100 men, about, not that many of them actual knights, but they are generally the people who are tasked with patrolling the Red Mountains, a very thankless duty for the amount of work you do, placing stashes in there, like going hunting bandits, dying, a lot of that.
A lot of dying.
But it's also a very honorable task because they do it selflessly, without really being thanked for it, without really getting anything for it. They're heroes, every single one in their own right. Some would say idiots, so they're heroes. Well, it's a good mix of both things.
Sounds like our version of the law.
Yeah, except it's not thieves being there, and there are not as many of them, and the odds are much worse. But
The
yeah,
odds are worse than the wall.
say that. Well, you have a giant wall to the wall, so
It's kind of got a point, yeah.
You also have eternal winter.
So they say. So they say.
So they say. Yeah, yeah.
I mean it can't be that big.
I was also thinking, should we do the homecoming for Varen at some other point, or
We did that.
I
we
did
just
it.
skip that?
For you.
Yeah, we did that.
Oh, all right then.
It kind
You
of
can
happens.
listen to it once this is uploaded to YouTube, I suppose.
Yeah.
You listen to your own you listen to your own introduction.
Right, sure.
Just play your character as you imagine him. I don't think I did you great dishonor from what I know of him.
Jonas and Dark also reprised their roles for that homecoming. Okay.
All right. I will say though, he would present a gift for the Lords of the House, which is
Ooh.
an item called Far Eyes, which is basically a telescope
Ooh.
that he got in Mir.
That certainly would have been something that would have fascinated Lena.
Mir is known for its excellent glass lenses.
Indeed.
It is
My
one of
Far
the
Eyes isn't
famous.
as good. It's not from here.
Yes, but you're traveling towards Helmbreaker's Hall, a good little distance. It won't take you half a moon though, as many other travels have. And they're also a decent sort of road network as long as you go around sort of Lord Wraith's Millstead Hall, where Lord Karen generally gets his food stocks. There are not that many soldiers there, and those that are there are generally like Dornishmen such as yourselves sent to aid Lord Karen in other ways, generally in the mountains because that's what he generally has to deal with. Yeah, the travel there takes about how much would that be, like seven days on your decently moving speed.
7 days of us all together. Oh man.
Yeah. How do you sort of pass the time traveling during these days? Because there's a lot of downtime just sort of riding, being too close to really not talk.
Stories. Lots and lots of stories in true Alaric fashion.
Yep. I would probably talk a bit to Alaric about my time in the Free Cities and the battle.
Ren would be on the very edge of the contingent here. Kind of listening in, but not really wanting to interject anything.
Bree doesn't really care about the stories, but she doesn't have anything better to add. Like, the stories she has involve the time that she got kidnapped in the Red Mountains, the time that she killed people in the Red Mountains, or the time that she killed people.
We've become very familiar with Bree's history and with what I'm hearing.
No,
Whatever-
you haven't.
Whatever she would have told would have been an answer would be like, oh.
Right.
Yeah, it's just
It's
like
So
A
what's
few
your experience in the mountains? And like, oh.
You know, it's that awkward silence thing. But it's just, I mean, it's a bastard telling stories. Like, who really cares about bastards telling stories? And then and so then she goes from that thought train to, wait, blood ravens are back. Oh. She looks around nervously every now and then, expecting him to descend from the fog.
But is he a bastard though? Legitimization happened.
Yeah.
I mean,
she just
Yeah.
looks at
could
the
Varen be
mountains.
legitimized?
She thinks that bastards have a mystical connection. They feel it if someone insults bastards.
Hive mind
They-
bastards.
Like,
So yes, she isolates herself in childish superstition.
All bastards have the
That's a
mind
good
link.
place.
Do the
So
seven
it's
have bastards?
I wish I had someone born important or better to talk to. Where's Nima? I even settle for Rosette or
Nina
Dr.
hasn't
Chastain.
been the same after, the death of Halen. and she's generally kept herself a little distant from everyone. She has begun working more with Decim, and she has generally been gone for a long time with that strange alchemist fella.
That definitely makes pretty sad. That Nima could somehow choose the duplicitous, treacherous Uncle Decim over her, after all they've shared.
Betrayal has come to light.
That's right. It's all right.
Vengeance shall be mine.
And then Sarios is silent. Maybe she's just keeping an eye on both of them. Free trust me.
Is she betraying me? Nah.
Ah,
He wouldn't do that. He's good.
Nah.
He's good people.
yes, she's good for you. So yes, Bree shares no stories. Bree listens though. I mean, who wants to hear stories from her?
What does Kaiwin do on these 7-8 days of traveling?
He would be asking Sir Alaric for stories, having experienced Bree's stories to be kind of depressing and not.
He didn't tell any. So
Yeah, like there was something there that maybe So yeah, he will be asking Sir Alaric for stories or Varen for stories. Like he wants to get to know these people a little bit. It would be quite obvious that he's intimidated by Varen because of his size, but he's actually impressed with Sir Alaric. Would be quite clear that he looks up to him as someone who is quite famous and famed for being very skilled and stuff. Might be a tiny teensy hint of hero worship in there. You also get the feeling like Kevin is very honest. Like he doesn't seem to have much treachery in him, or like any dupliciousness or anything like that. He seems like genuinely interested, as it were, listening to these things. Other than that, he would be very careful taking care of his stuff, and he will be talking a lot with his dear brother, sharing, basically brotherly talk and laughing and stuff like that. To a lot of in-jokes, it seems to be going on between them.
How loud do they laugh?
Ren, not very.
Well, since we are not yet in enemy lands, I think.
Right. I just like to imagine like those two are sharing a story and laughing while Alaric's in the middle of telling his own story, and Alaric stops.
He just stops and looks.
They're like, yes, do
the
go on.
punchline was in 2 sentences.
I just had.
What's funny about him dying?
I do imagine the situation kind of coming up because Ren probably doesn't laugh that loudly. He seems quite quiet, and as Kevin knows, quieter than usual around these unfamiliar individuals.
Yeah.
Pretty much assessment. But I imagine Kevin is probably quite open with it.
Yeah, no, he tries to engage with them. He's obviously nervous, or he doesn't really know how to behave around them. He tries to be amicable enough.
Is Ren ashamed of his accent? He probably has a decent accent coming from.
He probably does have quite the strong accent, and a little bit, yeah. He is part of him is slight. There is that slight self-consciousness of everyone else here. Their accent's not that different from each other. I mean, well, Varen Flowers maybe, but
yeah. Varen also has quite a bit of accents, having spent 2/3 of his life in the Free Cities.
But Ren very much
often enough, a growled low Valyrian word added in there.
Yeah.
yeah.
Ren
can most certainly feel he is the most on the kind of outsider scale here.
Mm-hmm. Alaric tries and fails. Halldamir.
Ah, fuck.
Hey, how many stories have you got that are
Not that
Yeah,
many.
he's not got that many. I concede.
And then
They're also
sorted out their differences in an amicable fashion, and everyone walked away the better.
No, the bloody and gruesome ones are totally Bree safe.
I tell you, there were literal stacks of.
When I saw his dick,
When I walked into the room, there was just a blanket of really nice linens.
Yes, linens.
Bree just blinks, slightly confused. Like, what a strange story.
I asked the weaver how she composed those linens. We had a lengthy discourse on linen quality.
The milkmaid was
very good at...
Very respectable and well taught, educated.
she
Good
could
manners. Very
She-
good manners.
she milked for hours.
She can see through it. No.
I imagine Vern would also be a bit foul-mouthed and followed by like, apologies, my lady. I spent a lot of time with the sellswords and whatnot.
All his curses are probably low Valerian, though.
That's true.
People don't generally, and it's like your mother was a dark slave or something like that, and it doesn't really translate to anyone.
That doesn't mean anything to her.
The
Like,
people just sort of look at you like, what? Well,
The only person
say
who'd be
the
able to
foulest things.
the only person you're likely to run across who would actually be able to understand them is probably Lenus.
Yeah.
Slave
it's not
pit
as if
mercenaries
it's-
don't have a great like language. It's pretty horrible.
Yeah,
Things
it
they
is.
can say.
Mhm.
Like sailor language and then like up the notch.
Yeah, but there are also, of course, moments where, especially with Bree's kind of perception, though, like Ren kind of wants to say something. It's like, yeah, never mind.
He does know a few swear words though in the common tongue, and whenever he says those, he will be like, apologies, my lady.
Maybe a few in Giscari too, since he wasn't Marine. Oh,
Yeah, that's true.
how many times does he apologize over the week?
Over the week, maybe like 3 or 4 times.
Only 3 or 4. Okay.
like every other day.
I thought it'd be
Like once a day.
3 or 4 times per day.
No. Not that often.
17 times per day.
He mostly swears in Valerian. So.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes
Then
it
he
almost
doesn't
better.
have to apologize because no one else knows it. Yes.
It's good. Bree knows that Alaric's hiding something from her. He doesn't know exactly what.
She might
Remembers
think
the
it has to.
blushing guard. The strange noise.
I mean,
Yes.
it can't be the dirtiness of these stories. That's so thinly veiled.
Exactly, it's something else. It's clear that they had lots of sex, but
It has to
I
be
mean-
something to do with that book that he reads every night. What's up with that?
Why did he suddenly learn how to read? It wasn't for Manfur. Who would do that?
is it actually like these incredibly trashy romance novels that so Alec now reads?
Maester Rubus, look into the anatomy of the young.
Alaric's like, oh yes.
So yes, that only adds to like Bree's like quiet suspicion.
Treatise on the dignity of a lady's bosom, and like so Alec is like, yes. Why didn't I do it years ago?
Alternative use of chains by Maester.
Mr. Sextus.
Yes, it's the Sextus.
It's a writing name.
And name. Oh yes, this has to be a thing. Alaric needs to constantly read these novels.
It's the Reach. Of course, they're trashy novels. But they all like of knights and very flowery, like
The
lots of
monks,
flower
like,
metaphors.
That monks like painfully transcribe.
Like, oh, god damn, why do I have to? Yes, we will. Mumble, mumble, mumble.
You go blind.
He plucked her fine rose and then fought in a tourney and then was a
You see-
gentleman.
Did you say
That sort of thing.
And so that's why Halldamir can't keep it peaceful. That's why Alaric can't keep it PG-13.
If he does
That's
actually
right.
talk like that, Baron will try to conceal his laughter.
Yeah, look, you see Alaric mumble it
Good
to
at
himself
deceit.
as he works out the as he like speaks out the words softly to himself. It's like, that was great. It's great.
It's like he's there just reliving all of these women.
Yeah.
And then
Very like crazy coughs just happening.
Kyvan looking over to Ren, shaking his head.
is he sick? He shouldn't be traveling if he's sick, right? We're gonna take a sick man?
His face
What?
turning all red, like just
What?
desperately trying to conceal it.
What are these?
Motion sickness.
So, Breakers.
Are you-
Oh, tell me about that story.
Yes, Helmbreaker's Hall. That's the story you want to hear. After familiarizing yourself with one another for a little while, you do indeed arrive at Helmbreaker's Hall. It is it's sort of laying up in the Dornish Hills, right? Sort of behind it is like the tall cliffs, the red cliffs, where the mountains really begin. The Dornish mountain regions is technically also really what you live in, though you live in sort of the more hilly, rocky part, while this is like the cliffy, rocky part, if you could say so. It is very much just hard rock, and it is bakingly hot up there. Helmbreaker's Hall has sort of a long, sort of twirly road almost that goes up there, where they can bring a few horses and such. It's really designed to be an outpost scouting here, but it's been built a little bigger than just an outpost into an actual, like, a single keep. No walls, no real towers sitting there. Fine grass fields to one side where the horses can go, and to the other side, well, the red cliff. You're welcomed, nice enough, and you're very quickly, the same day really, given a meeting with Sir Urgus. Where should we have this meeting? Let's have this meeting on the overview map. That's a little faster to load for everyone. And we do have this, like, let's remove that text. And then we can use this red dot here as the table.
This red dot.
Yep, that works.
Forgot to copy my token. Damn it. There we go.
Could we like swap places?
I mean, I'm not going to sit on the outskirts.
You just huddle in the corner over there.
I mean, you two probably have seen this guy before. I mean, you were even on a mission where he was the commander, and you were like sub-commanders to show yourself. So he likes you somewhat.
Yeah.
You know.
We're not scared. We're not scared of this. We're scared of this.
Ah. He isn't. As he
She's
invites you into his hall. On the table, there's already like a big map. It seems that there's a round table that the knights sit around when they do stuff, you know. But there's a big map with like little figurines and lines and whatnot, little markings of different things. Along the northern border, you see a lot of little markings with like black pins that have been set into the sort of the mountains area. It's a map, so much of the middle is just kind of not filled out with other than like red, as this is a bad place to be. Yeah. Basically, he'll start very very easily as just you all take your seats. It says, "Welcome. This is not an easy thing you're going to be doing, and I will do my best to aid you." To all of you. It says, I have not been as far in as you are going to go, but I have taken my time and found as much information on the inner parts of the mountains as I could. Beyond that, I have some expertise in traveling slightly in there, and we have some stashes in there that you can use if the need arises. Hopefully we won't need them as well. I would hate to find them empty if I came in need, so in emergencies only, please. Yeah, it's you. I know two of you have some experience with the mountains. I have heard that two others have as well. He looks to Elric and Bree. Then looks to Varen and says, I don't know you, sir, but I am Sir Urgus Timwas. Pleasure to meet
sir.
you.
I am no sir. I just bear flowers.
Oh, I see. Well, perhaps after this then.
We'll see. A pleasure to meet you anyway.
Looks at the map and says, the Vultures is not a name that is singular to be used in this period of history. I don't know if any of you are familiar with historical studies.
No.
Looks to Alaric.
Alright, kind of shrugs a bit.
Excellencies, I see. Well, he leans in and like points to the middle of the map. He can't really reach the middle of the table. The map's like over here. And then taps a place, and it has like a big vulture thing on it. It says, "This here is called the Vulture's Roost. It is the seat of the now and then Vulture King." I'll mark it here on the overview map. That will likely be where they have gathered a large, very significant amount of their forces. The place is at the spring, one of them, of the Great Will River, and so they have plenty of fresh water, a thing that is quite rare in the mountains. It has been attacked and destroyed once before. It is thought to be rebuilt. Last time a Vulture King rose, it was the Talis who led an enforcement, or led it from the Reach in there. A man named Savage Sam destroyed the place. It was backed by most lords of Northern Dawn, who were dissatisfied with the period of peace that they were living in. It seems relevant. Regardless, it is one of the best places to find a lot of them. I don't know how you can be expected to defeat such a place, but the location is one we know of, so it is probably best that you know of it as well.
What material is this place built of?
It is halfway cut out of the very rock of these mountains.
I see.
It was difficult, I understand from the books, to destroy it completely, and it was thought that perhaps the Reach could have an outpost there, but the climate proved impossible to survive within. Water is perhaps one thing you need, but food is another, and a reason to wish to continue living is a third. It is said that most men who stationed there mysteriously disappeared or died, or got sunburned to the point where they simply ventured out or threw themselves into the chasm. Joe says, don't travel during the day.
Are there any evidence of them getting shipments of food up there somehow?
Says, we understand from the raids that have happened that they have taken quite a lot of food. The trade has been happening at a greater amount than ever before since the peace has been created, which has of course made it easier for them to acquire what they need. We however believe that there are indeed food shipments likely sent from the south, and we recently raided one such place where shipments could have been carried into the heart of the Red Mountains. Sort of looks to the two Dornishman here and say, the Tower of Joy points to a different place on the map, like down by the bend of the road here by the Princess Pass. It says an old fort, tower, watchtower really, is there. It has an entrance that allows you to go up the cliffs in a very easy manner. It's very discreet as well, looking just like another one of the ruins along the road. We recently took a look at it, and it seemed abandoned. There's fresh water there, and we have a supply stash as well. I would suggest that would be a good place to rest before you enter the actual mountains. You will get further than if you simply go up here and have to travel all that way into the heart of them. And they will also be unlikely to expect us to use it. They tend to think that they are the only ones who know the secret routes, since, well, we save them for occasions like this.
if they are getting shipments from the south, I imagine there's not a lot of paths leading up to this vulture's roost. Perhaps if we could block off these paths, that might hinder them somewhat in their efforts.
We don't know the paths. At least I do not. Historically, we don't really have many maps from Dawn. This was from a period, obviously, before the peace. So whatever information there is probably kept by the Dornish. They have not been very forthcoming with my requests for aid, but I have also not been very clear in what that aid would need to be. Simply
Also,
in hunting bandits.
Blocking off the paths it's a dangerous undertaking. We would need a lot of manpower to do so, and it would mean move a lot of troops into lands that belong to Dornish lords. It's quite risky.
Perhaps it might depend on the terrain. Might be some. We might have some luck and just be able to push a boulder up onto the road, and they wouldn't be able to move through there anymore.
In some places, the rock has grown very brittle around this time of year. The strong winter winds have hammered at them and eroded much of the supports. Some of them have water running beneath them and can collapse rather easily. We have lost several men to hellish rock slides and the like. You will likely not know when they happen before they do. It's very deceptive.
Certainly something to think of.
Not being too loud, not throwing too heavy things around is certainly an idea. He looks to Alaric and says, should a knight on a horse, for example, fall from a cliff and land, it could be that whatever is around him collapses, killing his fellows. It also could not. There's not really a sure way to know. At least not what I've found. The Dornish might have ideas. We've been out in ambushes, following them. They retreated into such a location, and they collapsed the whole thing around us. Well, at least that's what the remains of my soldiers looked like had happened. They have the home field advantage. They live in there. In all of this horror, they survive. They're tough. There's a lot of rabble, people who have not lived there for long, simply come here. And I imagine there's a place somewhere closer to the south where a lot of their manpower would be. The standard bandits who are of no particular worth or value, simple manpower. I can't imagine they would survive further deep in, and they would need to be close to the supplies. Beyond that, you would also want them to be able to leave for either the Boneway or the Prince's Pass rather quickly. So if you're looking for those, I would suggest there, though cutting off the food supply might be the best way to deal with them. The most well-trained, well-equipped ones you're likely going to find around, he sort of pats the map, the Vulture's Roost. At least that is how it has historically been. It is the only place in this hellish land that really supports life as we know it. You should also take care. When you travel at night, you will want to have fire. It keeps the worst of the beasts that live their way. Shadow cats. They grow rather large and they are bold when hungry.
Shadow
It will make you visible to archers and the like, but traveling without light in this terrain, there are no roads. And if you fall, it could mean a broken ankle. There's no way to climb with such a thing, and you will die there from starvation or thirst.
There are actual shadow cats in the mountains.
Yes, mountain lions and shadow cats. They live off of the goats that are there. If you wish to forage or hunt, go for the goats. The goats will often flee to their safe territories, meaning somewhat up in the mountains. There are, if you can climb, little outcroppings where small bushes grow. The berries on those can be eaten for both sustenance and some moisture, But you have to boil them first. Do not eat them just as you find them. They will make all the water in your body escape out your rear. So be sure, if you wish to do so, to keep some water on hand, and some firewood. Not much wood is to be found in there. Another reason not to expect them to use fire. They will know it's you, if you have it. As far as I understand, they generally cook their food using the heat on rocks during the day. Which means they can't travel that day, as they are unlikely to travel during the day as well, and as you need your sleep to be able to travel in this terrain.
So they will most likely spot us before we spot them.
If
It
we-
seems likely,
Yes.
if you use fire, yes. When you find springs or water sources, beware. There are generally snakes there. Large beasts can swallow a man whole and arm on everything.
Captain shudders.
They are around where moisture is. If you find snakes, however, you might also know that water is nearby. They wait for you to come drink, and then they bite you and leave, leaving you to slowly die. You can go blind from them. Men permanently go blind and then go mad from the heat. They can't find shelter. If you find water, generally running on the inside of slightly hollowed out cave walls, if you see red slime near that water, do not, and I repeat, do not drink it. If you do, you will die an agonizing death. Don't touch it. Leave it. If you see an animal drinking from it, do not hunt or eat that animal. It will die and it will spread to you. Looks at you very intently. There are more dangers there, deeper in, I'm sure, but these are some that I know. The Red Death is horrible. It can be very deceptive. Some of this might just be the rock being red, but if it is slimy, do not touch it. Just be sure about this. Much of the local vegetation has thorns, but they are not poisonous generally, not that harmful. Seems to think. I think the best way to find food really is to find Dornishmen. They're bound to have some, or at least have a stash nearby if they're there. Hunters. That might not be true about them. There are some who live there and have lived there for most of their lives. Having grown acclimated to the climate, they know how to find water and food. They are also excellent archers. If they were not, they would have died already. You will likely find those closer to the heart of the mountains, but not that close to the vulture's roost. If you want to take those out, the core of this whole attack, they're the ones who really threaten us the most. Then searching there, in the most inhospitable areas, would be what you're going to do. If you should find yourselves in the northern part, close to Helmbreaker's Hall, our stashes will be marked by a black spear set in the rock, with a skull upon it. It is where one of our people fell, and that is what the vultures think it is. But it also marks a stash. Nearby, it does not directly point to it, it's obvious, likely buried or some such. You should be able to find it if you know it's there. When you have found it, take the skull. Otherwise, my men might search in vain.
Make sure to remember that.